Breakker.
Everyone on their feet for our main event here tonight. And you see the war paint on the face of Breakker. And as his teammates make their way out, the question tonight, guys, is it a bigger night for 2.0 or is it a bigger night for Team Black and Gold?
Next, Grayson Waller.
For me, the question just asked, who's got the bigger night, Black and Gold or 2.0? By far, it's Black and Gold. All of the pressure tonight is on the veterans. Is tonight the changing of the guard in NXT?
Tony D'Angelo.
Tonight is a battle for the soul of NXT. The stakes could not be higher. And as far as I'm concerned, 2.0 have everything to win. Black and Gold have everything to lose tonight.
Accompanied by Trick Williams, he is the NXT North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes.
It's no secret, Black and Gold is just etched on my heart. To me, this is gonna be their night. You can't substitute for experience in a match like this. I love everything NXT 2.0's bring to the table, but it's gonna be all Black and Gold.
And of course, Team 2.0 has the War Games advantage, and it appears the North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, is going to start things off for Team 2.0 in the men's War Games match.
One of the most confident superstars I have ever encountered, regardless of the experience. And to be fair to Carmelo, he has backed up every word he's ever uttered since arriving in NXT. He's going to be looking to do that again tonight in the War Games match.
Trick Williams on the outside, and you just saw Carmelo Hayes say, when I shoot, I don't miss, which is, to your point, Wade Barrett, the motto of the North American champion.
Well, he ain't lying, is he?
And the opponents, first, the NXT Champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
Team Black and Gold believes 2.0 has been handed everything as the NXT champion, the God of War himself, Tommaso Ciampa, ready to lead his troops into battle. But Beth, this Team Black and Gold face an uphill battle tonight.
Well, first, it'll be glorious to see a DIY reunion here tonight, but you gotta look at this. 2.0 has the War Games advantage. We saw earlier in the night, Toxic Attraction fell victim to that advantage. They were swimming upstream the entire match, and that could be the case here tonight. Black and Gold has a hell of a fight ahead of them.
Next, the Cruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne certainly has been victorious in the past in this sort of match, on this stage. But as Team 2.0 has said, it's not about the past, it's about the future. Dunne is not taking his eyes off of Carmelo Hayes.
Easy to forget that this man still has a long future ahead of him, the Bruiserweight. So young, he's got at least 15 years ahead of his career, even though he's already turned a veteran.
Knight said the advantage that 2.0 has is nothing more than an illusion. LA Knight continuing to talk trash all the way to the shark cage.
They also called 2.0 a bunch of scared little boys. If that doesn't get under their skin, I don't know what would.
I've noticed that you two have started to warm to LA Knight just 12 months after I've been telling you what a great he truly
Go
is.
that far.
clock has been turned back for Johnny Gargano. The heart, the soul of this brand since he arrived. He said last week if it weren't for Team Black and Gold, Team 2.0 wouldn't even have a ring to stand in.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, I could write a novel about the impact Gargano and his wife Candice LeRae have had on NXT. They are part of the fabric, the foundation of building this brand, carrying NXT forward to our launch on network television, main evented more big matches than anyone. 2.0 owes some respect to Johnny and the road he paved for them to be seen by the WWE Universe.
And no doubt the Rebel Heart will kick things off for Team Black and Gold. But for everything Johnny Gargano has done, for everything Johnny has experienced, he has never stepped foot into War Games.
Yeah, it's rather ironic, really, because all Black and Gold have talked about in the build-up to this match is the comparative difference in experience between the two teams. Well, Gargano is on the exact same experience level when it comes to War Games as 2.0, as these rookies, as they've been dismissively termed. Yes, he's used to the spotlight, the pressure, the main event, but let's see how he holds up now. He's finally, after years here in NXT, getting to taste War Games.
Both teams are locked in. Both will have to wait patiently. And when the first 5 minutes is up, again, Team 2.0 will have the advantage. And take a look, trending #1. NXT War Games, and it's all about the men's War Games matches. Johnny Gargano getting his hands on the North American champion. And look, Johnny Gargano is going to have 5 minutes right now to physically, mentally dissect and pick apart the North American champion. The question is, what happens after that 5 minutes?
Well, here is the fascinating part of War Games. Take your advantage while you can. Right now, one-on-one, who can get the upper hand? It has to be Gargano in my book if they're going to have any chance in this matchup.
Self-proclaimed leader of the new school, that being Carmelo Hayes. Look, Beth, what he's going to have to do tonight in this matchup, he's going to have to go the distance.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, Carmelo don't miss, but tonight Melo finds himself in a position where he might have to dodge a lot of bullets. It's a marathon for him, and this smooth talker, and I'm curious to see how he navigates this minefield.
And there we see Trick Williams, of course, on the outside of the cage, shouting what we would assume to be words of encouragement to Carmelo Hayes as that clock continues to tick. And Johnny Gargano maybe has just seen the clock. That's now just over 3.5 minutes because he realizes what's going to happen. It's going to be 2-on-1. There's going to be an advantage for Team 2.0. Gargano's going to have to fight an uphill battle, Beth, to your point earlier in this match.
100%, but even right out of the blocks, you can see Gargano calm, cool, and collected. Carmelo Hayes pacing back and forth with a nervous energy. Gargano's been in these high-pressure situations many times.
And you hear the 50-50 split in the NXT universe as Carmelo Hayes with the upper hand, but now Gargano trying to turn things around rather quickly.
Both men burning off a ton of energy in the early goings of this one, not looking to pace themselves, which perhaps is a surprise from my perspective, but what cardio machines they both happen to be.
How about the calm, the coolness? You can see the 6 superstars that are awaiting to enter the men's War Games match. Pacing, watching, soaking in the carnage thus far between Gargano and Hayes. And look, Johnny Gargano, he doesn't forget. He just recently was in a triple threat match with Carmelo Hayes.
Absolutely, Gargano knows what Carmelo Hayes is capable of. And I would imagine Melo's done his homework here tonight.
Yeah, well, Melo didn't see that coming. Certainly didn't do his homework, but Gargano did, and now Gargano just waiting for Hayes to rise to his feet. Oh, no.
Just suck it in by Carmelo there. Just a veteran move from Melo. Do not underestimate that man. Do not underestimate the team of 2.0.
There's the leader of the new school looking for one final beat. Gargano had it countered, able to land back on his feet. Both these superstars one step ahead. Slingshot spear though from Gargano. And there you see Team Black and Gold, they're fired up, but Gargano's got to realize that in 90 seconds, one member of Team 2.0 is going to make his way into the ring, and this sort of advantage that Gargano has, boom, is going to be wiped away.
A fluid movement, perfection from Johnny Gargano, NXT Universe. His eyes are glued on the action here in War Games.
Oh. Hayes a little extra off the top. And looking at it the other way, Carmelo Hayes has to realize right now, in 90 seconds, he's getting a partner. He's getting a friend.
All he needs to do is buy himself some time. He's got a position of superiority against Gargano now. If he maintains that for the next minute or so, things are looking really good for 2.0.
Well, this is that early stage of the match where you certainly can't win it, but you can lose the matchup if Gargano suffers too much damage in this next 3 minutes.
Absolutely, it's all about survivability at this point. I've got to say, I like the fact that this self-proclaimed leader of the new school has taken on this leadership role, anchoring his team from the start.
Face first goes Hayes, and guys, I'm looking up, the War Games cage is absolutely shaking as Gargano looking out and realizing he's got 30 seconds.
Human skin versus steel. There's only ever one winner. I've been there before. It is the worst sensation
Look at Gargano go!
Experienced, and Carmelo is getting to experience it 50 times in a row.
I bet this is smart for Johnny.
This is trouble. If he can get Carmelo Hayes down when the next entrant comes in, Johnny's got a chance.
Who is about to join War Games? It is Grayson Waller. And Waller is tired of those questioning 2.0's inexperience heading into this matchup.
Well, I've got to hand it to Grayson Waller. I know exactly how he feels. I've been there before with Nexus. I was entering as a turned rookie. Didn't have the experience, didn't have the respect of veterans. Well, that is kind of the position that this man, Grayson Waller, finds himself in right now.
Well, Waller has drawn the battle lines in the center of the ring, baited Gargano in.
And all Waller's done is berate everybody, point the finger, and like an entitled little brat.
Whoa!
If he wants people to stop questioning them, they need to show us why they're undeniable.
Well, Waller certainly showcasing his abilities at this juncture as Waller fresh entering the matchup.
And I personally take issue with the negative slant that is getting put on the superstars of NXT 2.0. To me, they are simply looking to earn the respect of the NXT universe and the black and gold veterans who they are up against tonight.
Let's remind Mr. Barrett that there's been some questionable antics towards his boy, LA Knight, from Waller over the last recent months.
I can't believe that you're defending them after that.
Whoa, don't try and get in between me and LA Knight. I've made my stance on LA Knight very clear. I think he's one of the top superstars in NXT, deservedly so.
All right, now this is when we talk about the advantage. How quickly things can turn around, because just as Gargano looked to start cooking in this matchup, now 2-on-1.
Well, therein lies the issue of Johnny Gargano himself losing the NXT War Games advantage ladder match last week against Bron Breakker. This is why he's in this position.
Come on. And, oh, don't accept imitations from Hayes or Waller. And look at Gargano right now mowing down the competition. And Wade, you brought up the word survival again. As LA Knight's peering into the ring, Johnny has to survive for 60 more seconds until the cavalry will make its way into the what's Trick Williams doing?
Trick Williams undoubtedly up to no good here.
Come on, referee!
In steel, lads. Whoa!
Well,
took out his own man there.
That might have been an issue for Trick Williams.
Is Trick trying to enter this too?
Well, wait a minute, it's all illegal, remember, is Gargano with the steel chair. That distraction just allowed Hayes to knock Gargano down and maybe out.
There are welts all over the face of
here we go.
Gargano right now, and it is punishment time from the lads in 2.0.
And even with a 2-on-1 advantage, they still had to resort to that kind of garbage.
Well, we talk about the dangers of War Games. This is right where Johnny Gargano, boom, felt the heel of Grayson Waller, and Gargano is battered, bruised, and busted.
He might have a broken nose at this point. He's got the claret mask all over him, and the lads from NXT 2.0 need to capitalize on that. You have to think Gargano will not be able to breathe properly now.
Johnny's nose, to your point, Wade, absolutely. You mentioned the nose on the face of Johnny Gargano. That is where he caught the heel of Grayson Waller. But let's talk about a nasty individual. How about the baddest man in NXT? Wasting no time. Here comes the battle-tested Bruiserweight.
Not a man I would ever want to get in an argument with. He's done so much at such a young age, competed in War Games before. This man has the experience, record-breaking NXT UK.
Oh, the elbow!
God!
Sickening blows. This man just enjoys dishing out pain.
Hyperextension is his specialty.
Was there ever a man more born for War Games, the chaos and destruction, than the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne?
The X-Plex from Pete Dunne, and all this has done is allowed Gargano, busted nose and all, to regroup himself. But look, as you mentioned, Wade, Pete Dunne, he loves to inflict pain.
You will never see a smile break across the face of Pete Dunne.
You talk about pain. Oh, the fingers bend it back in the cage.
That is disgusting.
The digits aren't supposed to bend that way.
Attacking the small joints of his opponent is an absolute specialty for the Bruiserweight.
Well, Grayson Waller might not be able to tweet, Instagram, or TikTok after that. But now,
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
oh, Carmelo Hayes might have just woken up Pete Dunne. Certain rivalry brewing between these two. Oh, a nice snap suplex off the assist from Gargano. And Johnny back to his feet. And Team Black and Gold, they are rocking right now.
A remarkable recovery from Johnny Gargano, a man with 100% bounce back ability.
And take a look, the Gargano escape, the crossface, and when you talk about pain, you're taking a look. Take a look at the faces of Hayes. Take a look at the face of Waller. We're seeing the faces of those waiting to enter in to this structure, but you take a look at the face of Johnny Gargano. We talk about the dangers of this War Games matchup, and again, the fingers being bent back by Grayson Waller.
Next guy out from Team 2.0 has to turn the tide here. This is going horribly wrong for these youngsters.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Brilliant strategy to keep Melo down, keep Grayson Waller down, so that when the advantage swings back in their team's favor.
Whoa!
Sudden burst of athleticism, a sudden burst of explosivity from that young man, Carmelo Hayes, is all it took to turn the tables until that.
Hayes got caught, Waller rolling through with that stunner.
Critical moment with 13 seconds to go.
Look at Waller moving around and laying out Team Black and Gold.
This is huge, guys.
This is not only huge, this is playing right in to what Team 2.0 wants. With another fresh superstar making his way to the ring, that, of course, Tony D'Angelo, who certainly can use some of his family traits in this sort of environment.
Oh, you think so? Well, the kendo sticks are in there. Trick Williams paying dividends on the outside. What on earth is this now? The toys are coming out to play, but you're right. Let me preface this by saying the D'Angelo family are wonderful people. I would never cross them. However, they know methods that allow them to make people talk, make people do what they want them to do. They know how to turn the thumb screws, so to speak, and that could be very valuable for Tony D'Angelo and Team 2.0 tonight.
It's something to think about when we talk about the inexperience of Team 2.0. I mean, Beth, they have come into tonight with a game plan. Take a look at what they're doing right now. They are taking apart, and Carmelo Hayes physically dissecting Johnny Gargano.
They're all driven by the same motivation, and that is to grab those top spots and to rule NXT. That's simply what they are motivated in this match.
We've essentially got a fifth man on the outside in Trick Williams, and all these toys are going to cause tremendous damage once they're connecting with the opponents of Team 2.0, and Trick Williams isn't stopping.
What the heck is Trick Williams trying to pull out now? Talk about the ultimate X Factor.
What
Dexter Lumis.
Creep.
Lumis is the equalizer here.
How long's he been under there?
thumbs down at this moment for Gargano, but at least Lumis. Is that a chain?
Is Indy Hartwell under the ring too?
Take a look at the chaos here in the men's War Games matchup. And what is D'Angelo doing?
There is a plan afoot. I don't know, but I like it. It's devious, but it might just work.
D'Angelo just padlocked the cage door shut.
Well, right now it's 3-on-2, and it might stay 3-on-2 for a significant period of time.
There we see under 50 seconds until either LA Knight or Tommaso Ciampa will enter this matchup, but the cage door's been padlocked shut. D'Angelo brought in everything, almost including Dexter Lumis.
Dunn and Gargano just getting completely mugged right now.
They're getting turned into mincemeat by 2.0. The plan is working out brilliantly.
And right now, Dunn and Gargano are literally fighting for their lives, and nothing that's going for Dunn or Gargano. There's whatever the question they have, there's an answer from Team 2.0.
You almost can't fail from this position if you're Team 2.0. You have the numbers advantage. You have a bunch of artillery surrounding you in the ring, and the cage door is locked.
Well, it's the megastar himself, LA Knight, but
Knight's got to get
what's
creative
going through
right
Knight's
here.
mind right now?
I mean, he can't get in. Not that way, anyways.
Official can't do anything to help LA Knight. And Knight is having to watch his teammates tonight get brutalized right in front of him.
And with every passing second, Team Black and Gold swimming farther and farther upstream.
And LA Knight now.
The rock climbing for you.
LA Knight will not be locked out.
Let's face it, he didn't have much choice here. Scrambling to the top of the War Game structure. He's in one way or another. Took a lot longer than it ever should.
But look, those extra seconds, so crucial in this matchup because every second counts. And for LA Knight, it's pent-up frustration, it's anger, it's all oozing out of his pores. In fact, Knight is looking to propel himself to a whole new stratosphere.
I'm not the biggest fan of LA Knight in the past, but in this case, I know he's a valuable member of Black and Gold. I don't like his attitude, but he's battle-tested, bona fide superstar.
Well, no love lost between these two superstars. Go all the way back to Halloween Havoc. But for LA Knight, Beth, again, he was offended by comments made by every member of Team 2.0.
I gotta be honest, so was I. I mean, it's one thing to want the top spot and chase it, but it's another to just disparage and put down those who have come before you. It does nothing to tell me you're insecure.
LA Knight feeding off the energy, and it might be fueling that huge swing, followed up by another.
This audience on their feet for LA Knight, a sight I thought I would never see. This is like Bizarro World.
And Knight was done with the kendo stick. He wanted the trash can to take the trash out, so to speak.
Now we're gonna make some beautiful music. I like that tune.
This is the definition of War Games. And Dunn and Gargano now on the same page.
Pendulum swinging back in favor of the Black and Gold boys.
This is so personal between the old school and the new school. And right now it's Team Black and Gold who has over 60 seconds to do whatever the hell they want to the opposition.
Get them down, keep them down. Pretty soon that numbers advantage is back in favor of 2.0.
Look at that. Finally, officials with bolt cutters trying to break open what Tony D'Angelo has done. But speaking of breaking, Dunn trying to break the fingers of Grayson Waller.
Oh no.
With a little extra help from a trash can.
Grayson Waller screaming in agony there. No respite whatsoever.
Make it difficult to grab any weapon in this match with broken fingers.
Oh, can you imagine the end of that? Oh! Was the cane across the knuckles and now into the ear?
They have upset the wrong man in the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
NXT Universe showing their love for Team Black and Gold.
I bet you ain't something to say.
Only one man left. And Bron Breakker said no rules, no code of conduct in War Games.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
As Breakker is going to break his way into the War Games cage, one way or another.
Wow.
This
Easier
chain
said than done.
proving to be a little tricky customer here.
Well, let's talk about Bron Breakker's Team Black and Gold waiting patiently. We talk about a couple extra seconds. Are they going to pay off at Breakker now? Becoming a taking out Dunn, knocking down Gargano, who's been in the match since the very beginning, and now the megastar is on the wrong end of Bron Breakker.
A lot has been made of the inexperience of Team 2.0 in his short tenure here in NXT.
And let's be honest about Bron Breakker, Beth. He stepped up this past Tuesday. He earned his team the advantage.
Breakker continues to shine every opportunity he's given. I've said it before, you can argue he's made the biggest splash in the shortest amount of time of all the 2.0 superstars.
Bron Breakker has changed the game in just 60 seconds upon his entrance in this matchup. Finally, the Bruiserweight managing to get a slight bit of momentum.
And we knew the NXT Universe would be behind Team Black and Gold, but Bron Breakker just shaking off Pete Dunne.
Those punches just bouncing off the jaw of Bron Breakker, perhaps weakened by the abuse that the Bruiserweight has taken so far, but cool. Bron Breakker, inexperienced at your peril.
And look, Breakker's not wavered in his claim. He wants one thing as he stares up at Tommaso Ciampa. That's the NXT title.
Well, he proclaimed that he wants to win that NXT Championship or he will die trying, as we take another look at this effortless explosivity from Bron Breakker against the Bruiserweight, followed by raw power, taking out the entire Black and Gold team. You have to think, if his team is victorious tonight, i.e. Bron, it only strengthens his claim to a rematch down the line with Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Speaking of Ciampa pacing his cage, it ain't long till he's involved.
And again, the NXT Universe trying to will on Team Black and Gold as Bron Breakker, as Wade put it, Beth, changed the game as soon as he entered into War Games.
Take nothing away from Bron Breakker, he's incredible, but there's still a numbers advantage going on right here. Tommaso Ciampa is currently locked up in a cage, and I have a feeling things are going to shift very quickly the second he leaves.
Yeah, and you got to think for Ciampa, this is the longest 60 seconds of his life. As those 60 seconds have dwindled away, the evil thoughts that have been in Ciampa's mind. Comes the NXT champion who said tonight is personal. The face, the conscience of the Black and Gold team. The pressure now on the shoulders of Ciampa.
Is the god of NXT, the last person to enter the most precious man. He has been disadvantaged from the beginning, or his team has. Needs to take himself to an entirely new level tonight if his team has any chance of taking down these beasts from NXT 2.0.
Tommaso Ciampa, a ferocity unlike any other superstar. Experienced in War Games.
The freshest man in the matchup, and it shows.
And Mr. NXT, center of the ring, the #1 tread in the world. NXT War Games, and the men's War Games match officially has begun.
Wow, finally, honors are even in this one. 4-on-4, but you wouldn't know from looking at the ring. Carnage, bedlam everywhere you look, but now the man who started this thing has got the upper hand, Carmelo Hayes.
And we question if Hayes, Beth, at the start of this would be able to go bell to bell, and Carmelo Hayes again has answered all the questions. Hayes calling on it. Oh! Gargano saving Ciampa. And we all know that Ciampa certainly knows how to use a crutch.
The Old Faithful, it's back.
It's back, and this is a familiar pairing. You can hear the NXT Universe chanting DIY.
A little taste of the old school for these young boys.
Certainly is, and
They've been to war beside each other, against each other.
and there's some classic DIY.
How on earth is Gargano moving so well after the beating he has taken? Oh, I spoke too soon.
Well, that's Braun Breaker, and that's just the strength of Breaker to be able to turn the complexion of anything on a dime. You are taking a look at the men's War Games matchup, and boom! That's just Braun Breaker doing Braun Breaker things.
One-handed, taking a flying Johnny Gargano out of the air, and now Team 2.0 finally get a second win, taking control of this matchup.
Ooh. And oh! Lawn darted was Pete Dunne. And now you're taking a look at Team 2.0, and Wade, you keep talking about backing things up. Team 2.0 wants everything that Team Black and Gold has, and it appears at this moment they're going to take it from Team Black and Gold.
Let's face it, it is there for the taking. We talked about earlier, could this be a change in the landscape? It is a battle for the soul of NXT, and that soul right now seems to be heading the way of Team 2.0. This is a new door.
And there's no doubt some side with Team 2.0, but for the most part, D'Angelo and Grayson Waller, they're feeling the cheers of the NXT Universe. A smile on Pete Dunne's face. With Team 2.0 surrounding Team Black and Gold. Black and Gold says, bring it, the fight is on!
There's life in the old dogs. Yeah, we got a hockey war in there.
Whoa! 2.0 wanted to feel the wrath of Team Black and Gold. Team Black and Gold bet they are bringing it.
2.0 has done nothing but provoke Black and Gold. I'm not sure it was a smart idea to give him that time to recover, because now who's standing?
Line him up, and Team Black and Gold knocking him down. The fire, the passion, it's coming out of the bodies of Team Black and Gold, who have built this place since day one, have been the pillars, the foundation, like Ciampa, like Gargano, like Dunne.
And now 2.0 getting a mud hole stomped in their souls, and this place coming unglued.
And LA Knight's got to be hearing every negative comment made by 2.0 ringing in the back of his mind. And all of a sudden, now it's the old school that's maybe going to show the new school a old school way, wink, wink, of doing things.
We're going to beat some respect into 2.0, that's for sure. Melo said they had it all, we want it all. Well, come get it all.
That team, Black and Gold, seem down, but certainly at this juncture, Wade, they are not out in this men's War Games matchup as Dunne, Gargano, a little, innovative offense.
Gargano hurting, holding that knee. How much damage has he so far incurred in this matchup? Tommaso Ciampa, perhaps the freshest man, although he's already been through the wars himself.
Well, Ciampa taking a look back. I think he's got one plan for Grayson Waller. No, D'Angelo.
D'Angelo out of nowhere.
And again, the dangers of this War Games matchup.
Tony D'Angelo not a man
Look at
with his
Waller.
gas twice to cause pain. Grayson Waller. Carnage everywhere. Well, Grayson Waller is a man who likes to go viral as we take another look back at some of the matches that we've experienced so far.
Yeah, well,
Grayson Waller attempting to come off the top rope, but an athletic LA Knight. You want a viral moment? That's all yours, Grayson Waller. Perhaps for all the wrong reasons.
The Human Demolition Derby is not done yet.
You take a look around at the NXT Universe, standing on their feet, witnessing one hell of a main event as one more time, Gargano and Dunn working together as a team. Oh!
Oh, no.
Breakker and D'Angelo working well as a team, and look, they sacrifice. Wait a minute! BFT! BFT Knight for the victory!
Tony D with the save, paying dividends for this team. Awareness personified from Tony D. The match about to slip away from 2.0 as we take another look at this Tower of Humanity crumbling down to the mat.
And then LA Knight, right place, right time, boom! Thought he had sealed the deal for his team. D'Angelo wisely, though, able to break up as this match continues. You talk about D'Angelo and Bron Breakker for a moment as you just take a look at the absolute carnage laid out through the two rings. They sacrificed Carmelo Hayes, but maybe it was for the greater good as Bron Breakker back to his feet with LA Knight. And this matchup continues. Ooh!
Only imagine the amount of serious pain running through the bodies of these men.
And look at LA Knight now, having his way with Bron Breakker. And it was Ciampa who said Team 2.0 would drown in their inexperience. And look at LA Knight, what's on his mind? What's he drawn up? Oh! Looking for BFT, I think, in a different form.
Absolutely, and once again saving the day was Tony D'Angelo. Listen, there comes a point where experience or lack thereof goes out of the window, and you can either do this or you can't. 2.0 have taught the big game, but for me, they have backed it up every inch of the way in this War Games match.
Well, Beth, you have the Hall of Fame credentials at this announce desk. What have you witnessed here as War Games continues? And Bron Breakker, wait a minute. Oh, there's Ciampa saving the day.
I've witnessed spectacular performances by all, but in the end, all that matters is who scores the win here tonight. When it comes to supremacy, who's the top dogs in NXT? We are yet to see who that will be.
Well, Bron Breakker wanted the NXT champion. He wanted to get his hands on Tommaso Ciampa. It's vice versa. Ciampa now with Breakker.
That is a lot of weight to pick up.
And it's a
Ciampa's got it.
long way down. Right through the can, into the cover. Is it the night for Black and Gold? And again, Breakker. Give credit where credit is due. Breakker able to kick out after this nasty air raid crash from the champion. Tommaso Ciampa thought he had everything under control. But Bron Breakker, still the freshest of all the superstars for his team, had a little bit left in the tank.
I don't know how fresh he is now after crushing that trash can. But again, Tony D'Angelo.
And D'Angelo might have just wiped out LA Knight. Well, Megastar certainly with a mega problem at this juncture of War Games.
Tony D'Angelo once again in complete control of this matchup, stepping it up in a big way just when his team needs it.
Grayson, I mean, what's D'Angelo barking at Waller for?
Waller's still standing.
What on earth is on Waller's mind here? He tried going high once, it backfired badly.
Wade, you mentioned wanting to trend, wanting to go viral. Oh, from the top of the War Games cage.
That table exploded on impact.
And D'Angelo into the cover. And done this time.
Just
man.
of time.
are going to see this over and over and over again.
Look at the amount of hang time on this elbow, the height crashing down across LA Knight's chest.
I mean, Grayson Waller willing to destroy himself to destroy LA Knight. What the? Is that a crowbar? What else does Tony D'Angelo need in a War Games match?
Strikes me as the kind of man who knows how to handle a crowbar, but then when you've got Pete Dunne staring back at you with a kendo stick, it's kind of redundant.
And Pete Dunne's a man who knows how to handle the kendo stick. They now going right to work, wearing out Carmelo Hayes. And it's important to remember, Hayes started this matchup for his team. There's just one shot after another from the Bruiserweight.
Pete Dunne like a man possessed and bearing the brunt of that rage. Carmelo Hayes back to those small joints.
And Dunne could be looking for that knockout blow on Carmelo Hayes.
Not only that, adding a trash can to the equation spells trouble. Once again, just decimating the hands.
The trash can's destroyed. Dunne's not done.
The arm of Carmelo Hayes might have been...
Oh, and that crowbar right to the ribs, right to the kidney. That was a great point, Wade. But now Tony D'Angelo. Right across the face.
Attacking the jaw of the Bruiserweight.
Oh, come on.
Removing the protective guard.
He's keeping it too.
A little souvenir for Tony D'Angelo. These two, no love lost.
You could call that a tax.
Is now all the way to the top with crowbar across the face of Pete Dunne. Come on! This is the men's War Games match. This carnage is what we expected. This chaos is what we thought, and we all believed Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa at some point would be slugging it out.
I have serious questions about the future health of the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne after that landing, but right now all concern gets focused back on Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champion.
Frankensteiner! And Breakker, where is he getting this energy from? Oh! Where the hell Johnny Gargano come from?
Johnny Gargano, great ring awareness, but Bron Breakker had him scouted.
With Ciampa this time, saving things. Oh! Gargano taking out Waller. One final beat. Rose Bell on cue, on demand. What's old school is new again. DIY! Breakker's down. Ciampa, Gargano into the cover, and reigning supreme. Carmelo Hayes.
Brilliance from Carmelo Hayes. What a genius move. This match was over. No way, Bron.
Thumb to the eye. Thumb to the eye from Hayes.
Every dirty trick in the book.
And there's nothing dirtier than a low blow. And it's all legal inside War Games. Wait a minute. Oh, Gargano!
Gargano caught the worst of the
Gargano sacrificing himself. And now, looking for the fairy tale ending! Breakker just planting Ciampa through the table.
Teammates smashing one another, but right now Tommaso Ciampa is in the worst position possible.
And Bron Breakker with the NXT champion high above his head. The power on display as Breakker into the cover. And Bron Breakker has pinned the NXT champion.
Here are your winners, Team 2.0.
But more importantly, the new school has risen above the old school. Team 2.0 not only survived, but victorious in War Games.
Milk this moment, Team 2.0. Be proud of yourselves. There is a new dawn breaking over NXT as we overlook the chaos, the destruction, but ultimately the victory led by this man, Bron Breakker. For me, the future of